Well, thank you for hosting these spaces. It's really helpful to have a place to vent properly.
Oh
And
well,
and 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 I love this idea of looking into why is it making me angry?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, that frustration, that powerlessness, that impotent rage, because there's nowhere to put it. Right? There's
Yeah.
nowhere satisfying to actually target it, and so you just have to
Yeah, that's
scream
right.
into a pillow or something. That's all you can do.
That's what I was thinking about. Scream into a pillow.
All right, so welcome everybody to this episode of Things That Bug Me. I'm joined today by my friend Kevin. Hello, Kevin. Thank you very much for joining me. Kevin's a very interesting chap. He's had a most interesting life. He is currently living in a caravan, driving around the US, catching up with friends and family that perhaps hasn't seen for a while. He's got time on his hands. He's got some money spare, and yeah, so he's using that. He's using that to travel the country and visit family. So yeah, Kevin, thank you very much for finding a clear Wi-Fi spot and joining me today. It's lovely to have you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's good to be here. And yeah, that's the main thing is that I've got to be connected to the internet for some reason. But
Yeah,
thank you for having me and thank you for doing this too. This is a great way to kind of vent.
yeah. Well, that's the idea. If I have one criticism of my episode so far, is that people haven't got emotional enough. You know what I mean? It's been
Oh,
very
let's get into it.
very valid complaints, and yet they're very
Yeah.
calm and measured in their delivery of it. And I would like people to, you know,
Oh, okay.
so not to put you on the spot, but that would be great.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's a good cue. Thank you. That gives me the freedom to, yeah, I will get emotional in this one.
So what is it? What is it that bugs you? Do go ahead.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. And this is very recent for me because this happened to me yesterday. First of all, it's kind of like a small what bugs me leading into the big one. And the small one is that okay, I ordered something online. And so great. So I travel. So I'm never in one spot at a time for long enough. But I knew that I'd be at my brother's house. So I ordered this it's a case. It's a case for myself and my nephew. So I ordered two of them and it's to hold the satellite internet connection that I have. Right now, it's in this box and it's falling apart. So I wanted a nice little rugged case that I could carry it with me and keep it organized. And my nephew does the same thing. He travels also. So I ordered this thing. I said, okay, I'm going to be at my brother's. Here's the shipping address. And boom, okay, that's ordered. I don't have to think about it. I'll be at my brother's in 3 weeks and it should be there. 3 weeks is plenty of time to get something delivered. Well, as it gets closer to being at my brother's, I realize, wait a minute, he hasn't received it yet. So let me go online. They still haven't shipped it. Oh my goodness! So I get on their customer contact form, and I say, "Hey, I ordered this thing. Here's the order number. Um, I'm not going to be at this address. Please redirect it to this new address." And I sent it off, and it's okay. I used their website, their contact form. They got it. I can assume they have it, right? I don't hear a word from them. I leave my brother's place. I get an email saying, shipping your product, we're shipping your cases. I'm going, what? Wait a minute. You're shipping them to my brother's address. And this happens all the time also is that the shipping notice comes to me when they print the shipping label, not when the ship picks up the product, but when they print the label. And so that's automatically, okay, here's your tracking
Hmm.
number. It's been shipped, but it's not really shipped. It hasn't been picked up yet. So I send them an email and the next day they write back say, oh, this has already been picked up. We can't change it. Contact UPS, which is our big major shipping company here in the US. And I said, oh no, I've done this before. And then the way this has worked in the past is that You call them up, there's a menu, they say, okay, before we get you to an agent, we need to know why you're here. And as you know, it's this computer voice, and you're supposed to use the keypad or your voice to tell them, I need to redirect a shipment. And usually, you know, after you do enough things, it says, okay, we'll send you to an agent. It's almost like they want you to really suffer. Not really. I know they don't want you, but they want you to suffer enough to make sure that you really have a case here. You really, 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 really want to talk to a live agent. And I know why. It's because they want to save money. And have you had this experience where you had to go through phone hell?
Yeah, and I think you're being quite. I think you're being perhaps overly generous of spirit by saying they're not doing it on purpose. Like they don't want you to suffer. I think they absolutely do want you to suffer for the reason that you said. Like only the most persistent and or the most in need will actually go through that suffering in order to get to the agent at the other end. Anyone who is, you know, it's not urgent, or they might be some other way they can sort it out, are going to give up really quickly. So I think suffering is actually designed into it.
Yeah, I do. And some people do need to know, okay, where's my local shipping agent? Okay, that one can be given by the computer. The computer knows where, okay, tell me where you are, what's your zip code or something like that. So there are legitimate reasons to use the menu system, but when you really have a problem that you know, I could look up the
I
shipping
need to speak
location
to
on my
someone.
computer.
Yeah.
I
I need to
need to
speak to
speak
someone.
to someone. They need, like, and it used to be the back door was you hit 0 enough times, and that would tell the
Yeah.
system, okay, this person needs to talk to an agent. That doesn't work anymore. They've taken that out too. There's no back door. And I try as I might, I could not get to a live agent. It was like, okay, you wanted to redirect your shipping? Sure, we can help you. Give us the tracking number, and then give us the zip code of the receiver. I said, well, wait, oh, I've got to look that up. And then by that time they say, okay, give us the full number of the tracking number. I said, oh, I don't want to go through the full thing because it's like 100 digits. So I hung up and called back and went through it again. Okay, I've got the zip code number up now, and I get to that point and I type all that in. It says, "Oh, okay, yeah, go to my shipment at ups.com and do this, and you can do it all online. Would you like me to repeat that?" And I said, "No." Okay, thank you for calling us. Like, it's like, no, no, I just want to talk to someone, not the computer.
It reminds
Oh
me
my
of.
gosh.
Did you ever read Asterix when you were younger? Did you ever read the Asterix books?
No, no,
Oh, okay,
no.
that's a shame. But anyway, so one of the Asterix books is the 12 Tasks of Asterix, and it's, you know, it's a cartoon spoofy version of the 12 Tasks of Hercules. And one of the things Asterix has to do is go into this administrative building and sort something or other out. I don't remember exactly what it is he has to do. And so he goes in up to the reception desk. I need to do this thing. Oh, you need to get a number, go to the second floor and get a number. So he goes to the number, goes to the second floor and gets the number. And the number comes up and he goes, oh no, you need to go to the fourth floor. You need to go to the 11th floor. Blah, 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 and eventually gets back to the place, you know, gets sent back to the place where he started from, thus completing the loop. and your story reminds me exactly of that, you know, and fortunately, Asterix has magic potion that he can drink and beat everyone up and make them do what he wants them to do anyway. And so you don't have that, unfortunately.
I need that. I need that sometimes. There was something maybe about a week ago that happened to me too. It says like, no, they told me to come back to you. And they said, oh, okay. And then they were able to figure it out. But yeah, those loops. Oh, that's horrible.
So presumably this situation is still ongoing. You still don't have your package. You still don't have a resolution to this.
Oh no, there's more to the story.
Oh, please carry on.
So after I got hung up on, I called back and I said, because they couldn't understand voice, I said, I need to speak to an agent. And the computer says, I understand you need to speak to an agent. I would love to connect you, but first we need to find out what you're calling about. I said, no, I don't want to talk to an agent. I understand you want to talk to an agent and I want to help you, but we need to find out why you are calling. And so I tried billing dispute. And then it was like I didn't have the information it wanted to do a billing dispute. I said, okay, new service. Okay, and like that was a dead end. It was like I tried my best. And I went online and I said, how to talk to a live agent at UPS. And it said, yeah, you're pretty much screwed. But if you have an account number, if you have a 10-digit account number, you can call domestic billing or you can call international billing. And here are the two numbers. That's the only way you can get to an agent is that they want money. If you have money to give them, oh, how can we help you, Mr. Kevin? And again, I get it. They're trying to save money. I'm sure Amazon is squeezing them. I'm sure everybody's squeezing them. So they have maybe 10 agents that are in different parts of the world. And they've spent millions of dollars on a call center to handle all the different voice prompts and stuff like that. So I get it, but it used to be I could call up and I could talk to the developer of software. I have a problem with the software. I could actually call the developer and get a hold of them. It's like, wow, oh, I'm talking to the developer. Wow. Oh yeah, I was wondering, can you have it where it can do this? Oh, that's a good idea. And it would be in the next release. And now it's like I can't even get a representative for UPS, our largest shipping service.
Yeah.
It's, oh my gosh. I just wanted to kill myself.
Yeah. No,
Okay, so
I feel your pain,
yeah.
brother. I do. I feel your pain.
Yeah. So
yeah, sorry, carry on.
no. I would love to hear your input, and then I'll tell you the rest of the story.
Well, I'm just thinking about the automated nature of all of this, and so these services are. I mean, it is a service at the end of the day. They are delivering a package for you, right? It's not entirely extractive, but you are paying them, and they are making money from you, and so in that sense, it is. And
Yeah.
It's what you said. It's about saving money, and it's about making the process of generating profit as streamlined and efficient as possible, and that means automating the whole thing. And right. So everything's behind a wall. You can't. There's this huge impersonal space between you and the deliverer of the service, which, as you say, used to not be there. You used to be able to ring up the local depot and speak to, the warehouse manager or whatever and say, what's going on with my package? That's a pipe dream these days. There's absolutely no way that's happening these days.
That's right. That person would say, well, yeah, I need a number. Would you have a tracking number? And it's like, I really can't do anything. It's in the system. Yeah, and I think that's the deal, is that because anytime a person outside the system gets involved, it messes up the system. Oh, we have to do something different. We have to change it. That's going to cause nightmares. It might even get somebody else's package. How do we know it's you? How do we know this package is for you? It could prove that you're the recipient. And so I can see that, yeah, it's the streamlining in order to make it as efficient as possible so that they can provide low rates. And so now I've just got to reset my expectations. Okay, if I'm going to use the UPS, I damn sure better make sure that it's going to be delivered in the way that is going to, work for me.
So the 3 weeks that they were holding on to the thing before they finally got it underway, by which time it was too late to deliver it to the address you'd asked them for, right? But do they not have some kind of guaranteed delivery window? Do they not, when you pay, do they not guaranteed delivery within 48 hours or 72 hours or whatever? Is that not part of their contract with you?
That's a good question. And what I'm going to assume is that I haven't gone back to the original supplier, the people that I bought the case from. I suspect when I go there, I'll see, shipping is within 3 weeks, 21 business days or something like that. So I'm sure that there was that disclaimer that I just missed. I just assumed, this is in stock. It'll ship within 2 or 3 days. I give them 3 or 4 days to get it packaged and shipped out. But it's possible that they may make them on demand. Once they get enough orders, then they make the cases. and then send them out because
Oh, so the
it's
delay
like
was not actually at UPS. The delay was at
no,
the right.
exactly.
Okay.
And UPS, because of the streamlining, they do have their service guarantee pretty good. It's really it's remarkable for as big of an organization.
Mm,
But again, that's probably because they keep that the customer at that distance, like you talk about.
yeah.
Okay, the customers always mess things up. Keep them away from keep them away out of the building, out of the machinery.
I mean, it's actually an interesting point. I mean, just to take their side for just for a change, just to try it on as something new. A lot of
Yeah,
customers do ring up for no good reason at all for stuff they could very easily
yeah,
inquire about online. Just type in your tracking number online and it will actually answer that question far faster.
exactly.
And so, yeah, I suppose you could make a decent case that some of this difficulty of getting through to people is so that they don't get their time wasted by people who have trivial.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, fair
And
enough.
and yeah, and having run a business, I know that happens all the time.
Mm.
And you get people that are hesitant. Well, oh yeah, I was wondering, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. It's like what? Can you say that again, please? And it's like, oh my God, I just wasted 15 minutes with this
Mm.
person. So
Yeah.
yeah, I get that. So the end of the story does have a happy ending, kind of. It's still ongoing. I called the supplier. I said, look, I can't get through to UPS. Please, can you help me? Because you actually contract with them. You
Hmm.
probably have a way to talk to them. And sure enough, he was able to get in touch with the UPS. Here's what UPS said. Okay, we can hold it at the shipping location in the town where it was going to be delivered. And it's like, that's not going to help me. I'm thousands of miles away from there. If you hold it there, that makes it worse. It's like, I'm sorry. And I felt really bad because I just wasted this guy's time, the UPS person's time to do something that is still not going to work. And so I said, yeah, no, just please deliver I'll find some way. What I'll do is I'll get my brother to ship it. He's disabled, but his wife, they do ship stuff. They ship
Mm.
stuff. They used to be eBayers. So
The
they're
nephew bought the other case for. Does he live near or near your brother?
no, unfortunately, no,
No,
no.
not
It's
either. Right. Okay.
Texas is bigger than Spain, and it's
Gigantic.
like
Yeah.
we're all scattered. We're all scattered here in the state. So I say thousands of miles. He's actually 4 hours away. I could drive there in 4 hours and pick it up. And it'd
Okay.
be nice to go. It'd be nice to go visit him, but it was like the convenience is like
Mm.
no. Also, I was just pissed off that this didn't happen the way that I wanted it to. It
Mm.
should have been easy. It should have been easier, and it got me
Yeah.
upset.
Yeah.
It got me, yeah,
Yeah. Well, you know what they say: man makes plans, God laughs.
yeah. That's right. That's right. So, I've been thinking about why that's one thing is that being we often suffer when things don't go the way we think it should,
Yeah.
and life is not the way we want it to be, and so we suffer because it's we want it to be different than it is.
Well,
That's
we
one
have
thing, but then
expectations of it, right? And when it doesn't meet those
yeah.
expectations, falls short of those expectations. Yeah. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. So I was thinking that, okay, that's one thing that pissed me off. The other one is that I kind of beat myself up because I probably missed that thing on the website that said that it would take 21 days to ship. So it's like, oh, okay, I wasn't careful enough. I didn't know that I had to be careful though. Is like I'm so used to Amazon telling me, oh, this will be delivered in August. Oh no, that's not going to help me.
Mm.
Um, Amazon has gotten really good about saying, okay, this is when they're going to ship,
Yeah.
and so we've gotten kind
Spoiled.
of
Yeah.
spoiled. Thank you. Yes,
Mm. So
but there's
something
something
else
more.
comes up on the notion of expectations, because I know
Yeah,
you've got a larger gripe. This is not just an isolated thing. This is part of a larger gripe about customer service in general, right?
yeah,
And so this thing about expectations, like reality falling short of our expectations. I mean, there's two parts to this. On the one hand, yeah, we've created the expectations. It's not our fault the world falls short of our expectations. But then expectations of things like customer service departments that they will offer some service to their customers, right? Like this is not an unreasonable expectation to hold. You know, that is why they exist, is to be a shop window, if you like. You know, not a shop window because it's not a reason, but you understand what I mean, like an entry point for their customers when things go wrong. Like you know, any company recognizes that from time to time things are going to go wrong. Nothing's perfect. From time to time things are going wrong. You want customer service that will actually sort that out, rather than making customers more angry, more irritated, more frustrated, more alienated, which is what so many have seemed to do.
Right.
So yeah, unreasonable expectations can be a big part of why we find disappointment in the world, but reasonable expectations can really just make us mad.
Yeah, I think so. The other thing that I was, hang on a second, I want to turn off all my things that go ding. The other thing that I realized was that I felt powerless. I just felt powerless, like there's nothing I can do. This is totally out of my control. And that also made me feel angry. That made me feel so angry that
impotent rage, I call that. I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. And the expectation, I'm obviously an old guy. So I remember that a time when, companies were more approachable. They had customers, they tried to help. It was you could, you could actually yell at the customer service, and that would cause them to do so. You can't yell at customer service anymore. Exactly, it is, and which is actually good. I'm glad that finally, because it's not good to yell at a cashier at a grocery store for the price of the product. It's like the cashier, first of all, doesn't give a flip, and or even if they give a flip, they have no control over the price or whatever it is you're complaining about. And I hate that people will launch off at a poor clerk who is just struggling to make ends meet about a company that they work for, and it's like, why are you yelling at me? I'm just going to spit it. You order it.
It's so funny. This came up in a conversation we had just the other day, didn't it? This idea of directing our anger, our rage, our frustration onto false targets. And customer service representatives can be a good example of that, because, as you say, they didn't make the policy, they didn't do the thing which, you know, has gone wrong. They're just on the end of the phone when people are, and so yeah, again, just looking at it from the other side. It's difficult because I can really see both sides of this. On the one hand, from the perspective of the customer service rep, like, why should you be taking people shout? You've never met this person, they're shouting down the phone at you or over the counter at you or whatever. Why should you take this abuse? On the other hand, you did choose to do the job of customer service, which you know is going to involve dealing with irate customers, right? And so you should be able to deal with irate customers. So it's a difficult one to find the right, to say exactly what's right and wrong here, because that is the job, right? Of course, you're going to be getting to deal with irate customers.
Yeah, maybe I can argue the counterpoint to this, because my stepson is in IT. And he is in customer support. He's like second tier customer support. And so he got this all the time. And it's like, I didn't really want to do this job. I have to do this job because I have to make money in order to live. And so it's true. It's true. He took the job. So he kind of knew what was to be expected, but it wasn't like, oh, I have these 5 jobs I can do. I can be a librarian. I can be a librarian, or I can be tech support, or
fair point.
So you get it. Yeah. But I totally get it. He should, once he takes the job, he should realize, okay, there are going to be people, but I don't think companies train people to understand that psychological dynamic. You know,
well,
they don't. They just plop them into the seat. Go, okay, here's what you do.
Yeah, if I might jump in here with a thing that really bugs me in the domain of customer service, is this sense that you are dealing with a script. You're not dealing with a human being. You're dealing with a script they're going through. You know, they are
Yeah.
programmed or instructed to in their training course or whatever to do it in this particular way. And
Yeah.
I find it unbelievably dehumanizing, you know, that it's that there is not a human being on the end of the phone that's talking. There's no possibility that they're going to sympathize with your position, right? I understand why you might be a little bit frustrated. Like none of that seems to register on their radar because they've been indoctrinated into this there's customer service. I don't know if they do this in the US, but in the UK, it really gets my goat. They refer to you as yourself. So how is everything with yourself today? What do you mean yourself? Like, why is it, there's this really peculiar use of the word yourself, which is obviously in the customer service manual somewhere, because I hear it everywhere in customer service departments. So it's obviously in the manual somewhere. And also, you know, like they ask, they confirm your name, and then they ask, is it all right if I call you Eric today? You know, and again, this is part of the script. You get it from everyone every time. You know, and it's obviously establish a rapport or establish whatever, yeah, by adopting first name, so something like that. Like I can so imagine that that's in the seminar. And yeah, as I say, it really. I straight away I go into shutdown mode, right? And I'm minimalist in my responses. I don't want to encourage them to
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that resonates with me too. I've been in the same situation. And now I realize, that explains it, because sometimes I'll get a call center and it routes me to, it's obvious that they're in the Philippines or India, because of the accent, of course. And the script is, oh, I hear you're frustrated by this thing that you're calling about. I'm sorry that this has happened, and I'll try my best to make it right for you. And then they go into the script, but it's the same. I said, no, that's not why I called. I'm calling back at this thing. Oh, I hear that you're frustrated about this other thing. I'm sorry to hear that. I'll try to make it right for you. So obviously they're reading through a script. Yeah.
It's what an AI would do, isn't it? I mean, who's to say that these are not AI, but it is what an AI would do.
You know, I have the feeling AI would actually do it a little better.
Maybe.
Possibly.
An AI would do a better job of acting like a human being on the end of a phone than a human being
does. Oh my gosh, it's coming. It's coming. You know, it's coming. Oh my gosh. And it's going to be over the internet, and it's going to be an avatar. Actually, it's going to look like and it's going to be an AI talking with us.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also heard that people call customer service because they're lonely. They just want to talk to somebody.
Yeah, I mean,
I've heard this.
I'm sure that's true. Like, wow, that's really quite sad, isn't it? But I have no doubt that that's true.
Yeah, I remember hearing that a few times in the past.
Yeah.
And so that may be another reason to insulate customer service from people.
Or a reason not to, depending on your perspective.
or not to. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What we need is customer service for therapists, or people who need therapy. But again, it's like, as soon as a customer, I can imagine that in the past they've done failure analysis at these companies, and they've gone, okay, what happened? Well, our customer agents, you really took pity on this person because they were in such pain, and so they tried to help, but actually screwed things up. And so, okay, all right.
Now it's lawsuits. Yeah.
Okay, how can we avoid this in the future? Okay, well, we can come up with this phone system.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm sure all of these things we're sort of half joking about them, but I'm sure these things, or one similar to them, have all fed into what we end up with today. I mean, I think at the heart of it, though, is this sort of general trend that there's been. I mean, I guess probably ever since commerce began, but seems to have really accelerated in the last 20 years or so of my lifetime, is this move away from building things and trying to do it well and so on, to just extracting, doing the bare minimum you can to get the money out of your customers, and you know, the move away from service and towards extraction
Mm.
I've noticed it a lot in my lifetime, and maybe I'm romanticizing a little bit. It's possible, but I have clear memory. Like back in the day, if you had a problem with your phone bill, you rang up, they picked up the phone, you spoke to
Yeah.
someone, the phone company, and they dealt with you until they stayed on the phone with you until it was sorted out. Um,
Yeah.
I I remember this
Sure.
being the case, and public utilities were public utilities. Like the idea that you were not able to use your phone or not able to use your electricity or something like that. This was important, and there were emergency lines where you could get hold of someone straight away, and all of this kind of things. Not there
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, yeah, and it's the size of the company. It's smaller companies, mom and pops. Yeah, no problem. You
Yeah,
can walk in,
yeah,
you can talk to the owner. You can talk to the owner in a small shop. But as soon as it becomes a multinational, huge behemoth,
yeah,
now all of a sudden squeezing a few pennies here and there makes hundreds of thousands of dollars
yeah,
savings
yeah.
to the bottom line. And so it's it is just part of this idea of maximized profit, which means that people come at least second, if not lower.
Yeah. Well, so something else came up, and I think you've absolutely nailed this because
Mm.
the mother and father, the mum and pop company, as you call it in America,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
even larger than that, but what we would still call small businesses, a few hundred
yeah,
employees in size, they have to, in a way, care about their customers because there's genuine. Whereas at the multinational level, they just
yeah,
buy up successful businesses and
yeah,
add them to the portfolio kind of thing.
yeah.
And so as a small business, you have to look after your customers. Whereas as a multinational, what you're looking after is your shareholders. And so your
That's
responsibility
right.
is now to extract as much resource from your customers as you can and transfer that to your shareholders as
Or,
opposed to actually.
or your CEO, or your CEO.
Absolutely, absolutely. As opposed to investing out in the business to better service your customers in order to ensure the long-term survival of your business, right? When it's actually
Yeah,
your business, you get, yeah. So that and I think that underpins that move from service towards extraction is this
yeah.
consolidation of everything into bigger and bigger and bigger multinational conglomerates.
That's right. And because those big behemoths have more market share, and so they don't have to worry about, oh, we're losing some people, yeah, because of the customer service, but it's negligible.
And people don't actually have anywhere else to go anyway,
No other
right? Like
choice. No other
yeah,
choice.
absolutely, absolutely. So
Yeah,
we can treat them
yeah.
as badly as we like because they've got no choice but to use our
That's right.
service. So
That's
this
right.
goes back
Yeah.
to what you mentioned earlier on, is this sense of powerlessness. Um,
Powerlessness. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like what do you?
Hmm. Yeah.
I can
And
feel it now.
I
I can
think,
feel it. I can feel it invading my body now. That sense of powerlessness. As I actually think, like, what can you do? And I feel that.
yeah,
that
there's nothing, nothing, nothing we can do, which in kind of like Buddhist terms would be okay. Then I need to adjust my expectations, um, the way that I look at the world, because I'm causing my own suffering now. It's not UPS is causing me to suffer because they don't care. They don't give a flip about me. And I'm trying not to use cuss words here.
No, no, no.
They
Go
don't
ahead. It
give
doesn't matter. We're fine with cuss words here on things that bug me.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, we
yeah,
expect them. I mean, if people are really getting really upset, then
yeah.
they're going to swear from time to time. Yeah, no, no, it's no problem.
Well, they don't give a fuck about me. So they're are they so so in that way, um, since it's not in my control, and the universe is uncaring in this case, I'm causing my own suffering. It's not UPS is causing me to suffer. I mean, I could blame all day long about UPS and go talk about them, but really, I'm causing my own suffering. This is just the reality that it is now. I mean, yeah, it could change in the future. I'm probably not going to be able to change it. I'll be tilting at windmills. But in this moment, I can say, okay, next time I order and I use UPS, I'll just make sure that because they're very reliable. That's one thing I will give them. They are very reliable. Otherwise, somebody would come in as a competitor and
Just
take
don't
over the
try and
business.
change anything. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Just don't try and change anything. Make sure that I'm going to be there when it's going to get when it's
yeah.
supposed to be delivered. And if it gets delivered damaged, that's something they do handle. I can take it to them and put it in a claim, and you know, they've got a system for that. But otherwise, yeah, it's just I've got to reset my expectations, as you say. I have expectations. But
So, no, go on. Finish your thought.
yeah, 10 minutes. I've got to take my truck in for service.
Oh, okay. Well, let me just respond to that quickly then, because I think
Yeah.
that this idea of at some point you're just causing your own suffering because there's nothing you can do about it, and so accepting it the way it is.
Yeah,
And
I'd love to hear
no,
your
I think
perspective.
there's a lot of truth and wisdom in that. However,
Yeah.
when things are unjust in the world, just because you can't see a way to change them doesn't mean you should just accept the unjustness of them. Right? That also doesn't sit well with me. Like each and every one of us. I mean, again, we've been in conversation about this recently, right? The idea of pushing back, the idea of resisting, or what was the word? What was the word we used? Challenging, that's the word. Challenging word that we were
Thank
using.
You. Yes.
Right. So
yes,
challenging injustice, challenging when things don't seem right, like that, and then not doing that, and the sense of and the you know the self-loathing and the self-recrimination and the the reinforcement of narratives of cowardice and all of this kind of thing that it creates when you don't challenge things that you really feel are wrong.
Yeah.
And so,
right.
yeah, that powerlessness, I think, to a sense, they want us to feel that powerlessness, right? Because so that we don't.
Of course.
So, yeah, I'd
Well,
like
they're
to end
counting
I mean, I always try and end these things on a sort of upbeat note, like how can we turn this thing that bugs us? Where's the jewel in here, if indeed there is one? And so, if we could find some way of neutralizing this sense of powerlessness and like, what would actually feel like, what could you do that would feel as though you had done something to say this was not right, this was not right? Doesn't mean it's going to change it, but to have your cry heard, right? Like how what would feel like having your cry heard?
Right. Well, this is one thing. What you're doing here, I realized halfway through this is that, oh, this is a rant against UPS. There would be more than one person watches this and says, oh, UPS is not very good with customer service. Oh, how about that? Okay, so we're spreading the word. That's one thing. The second thing that's got to happen is we have to coordinate. We have to cooperate and coordinate large numbers of people. The only way that we have power as people is if we are united on some issue. Now, I don't know if UPS customer service is the right issue to unite people over, but I like that idea that it could be someday that there is a way that we can unite our voices and say, we will pay more, just give us better customer service. We'll pay 10 cents more per shipment, or 50 cents more per shipment, if you will just hire more people to talk with us. I think that's the other third thing is that the Occupy movement. Let's go burn the system down. That doesn't appeal to me because it's like, what do you replace it with? And again, it's that large scale coordination is lacking.
Yeah, and those people who advocate for burning the system down, I don't think they appreciate just how utterly dependent we all are on that system for everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
It
would feel good. It would feel satisfying to burn it down.
In a way, for maybe 48 hours until everyone starts,
it's like
rioting. Yeah. So this thing about collective action, and like you would think that something like the internet would enable that, like really super facilitate the possibility of that. And yet it seems to do the exact opposite. It seems to divide us, fragment us, rather than
I think it's easier to divide than it is to unite. I think it takes effort.
Certainly seems that way.
I just had to get mad at you in order to say, screw you, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot of time. And well, Eric, tell me your position in, because I don't quite understand it. It's making me angry, but you care about your position. Tell me more about it so I can feel less angry.
Yeah.
That doesn't work. That takes too much effort. But I would love to continue this conversation. This is my conversation about about why my other thing that bugs me is, why is it so difficult to govern a large group of people? Why can't we all work together?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but
I mean, as you say, a conversation for another day. All right, you have to go soon anyway. So this feels like an okay place to call an end to this one. So yeah, thank you very much for coming on, Kevin. This was most thoughtful and most stimulating for me.
well, thank you for hosting these spaces. It's really helpful to have a place to vent properly.
Oh
And
well,
and I love this idea of looking into why is it making me angry.
yeah. Yeah, no, that frustration, that powerlessness, that impotent rage, because there's nowhere to put it, right? There's nowhere satisfying to actually target it, and so you just have to
Yeah, that's
scream
right.
into a pillow or something. You know, that's all you can do.
That's what I was thinking about. Scream into a pillow. Yeah.
All right,
Thank you, my
Kevin. I'll
friend.
see you again for another one sometime soon. I hope we'll talk more about this collective action stuff.
Sounds good, my friend. Take
Thank
care.
you
Have a
so
good
much for
day.
coming on. See you soon.